Hi everybody, welcome to Tampa Teen Talk Show. I'm Treniti.
And I'm Aniyah.
And the Tampa Teen Talk Show is to give young women a voice and empowerment.
Today's topic is about how George Floyd's death impacted Gianna Floyd's life.
Let's introduce the panel. In seat 1 we have
Nyela.
In seat 2,
Zion.
and in seat 3,
Kimmari.
My first question is for panelist 1, is how do you think you would feel if you were in Gianna Floyd's shoes?
If I was in Gianna Floyd's personal position, I would feel very devastated losing my father the way I lost him, or the way she lost him. To know that her father was not criminalized in a personal way, but he was brutalized by putting a cop's knee on his neck, could not breathe at all. So I would feel very devastated losing my father that way.
okay.
I would feel furious because it's like she lost her father with him not doing anything. You see so many people, criminals that do stuff, and sometimes they get away with it. But with her father, he lost his life by doing nothing. I would feel furious in that position.
In that position, I wouldn't know what to do. I would feel devastated. I would think of so many reasons why this would happen, how I could bring him back, or just why he was put in that position, or why was my father not resisting? Why would they do this to innocent man?
Okay. Well, with that being said, what kind of impact do you think it would have on young women, not just Gianna, but young women in general?
Do you mean by losing a father?
Yeah.
I feel like the impact it would have on them, a father figure is supposed to teach a young girl, how a man's supposed to treat you, you know what I mean? So without a father, it's going to impact them deeply, and it's going to show them, it's not really going to teach them how a man should treat them without a father figure in their life.
It would impact me being in her position. It would impact me by feeling lost, not understanding why he got taken. As a young woman, period, understanding to grow up to know that you lost your father that way. For some women, you might feel angry. For some, you might feel just lost. Personally, I would say that Gianna, as she gets older, she's going to understand her father's story, but at the same time, she will feel angry.
When Gianna grows up, the world around her will notice what she's going through, and hopefully the world around her will protect her and care for her and feel her pain the same way that she's feeling.
Going off of what Nyela said, Gianna personally doesn't know that her father died from police brutality. She just knows that her father couldn't breathe. So if Gianna were to ever see that video, how would you think it would make her feel or impact her growing older?
If she were to see the video right now, she is only 6 years old, so we all know she is very young to understand the brutality that we get now. So for her to even see the video, I really feel like that will traumatize her. Just seeing her father, knowing that he could not breathe, gasping for air, not understanding, so why is this happening, what's going on, knowing that there was at least 4 officers on top of her father, could not move, restricted. So personally, she would feel terrified just watching her father die a very slow, but not even a peaceful death.
I'll have to agree with what she had to say. She'll be terrified, because 6-year-olds, they don't understand what's going on. They don't grasp what's happening around. They just see what they see, and they'll put it in a different view.
Well, it could impact her either way. One, I think it could push her further and make her go harder in life, or it could just stop her right there and take a really big toll on her and make her upset for a while.
Yeah, I agree, because it could do something. It could like what Treniti said, it can make you want to stop it from going any further, or it can make you just go off in your own hole to where you don't want to be a part of the world.
I feel like she would either keep going in life or stop, take a quick second and think back of what happened, or keep going and be positive in the world around her.
So, my next question is, do you think his death had a negative or positive impact on society?
I think his death, it was both, I believe. Well, it had more of a positive because it gave us an eye-opener, I believe. It showed us that if we can stand together, because as you can see, his death, we all come together for a march to give him justice. And it has showed America that we can stop this brutality that's going on. That's what I feel.
I would say that it was more of a positive because we're hearing from people all around the world right now. And it's not just the black community. It's coming from other minorities that feel the same way, that get the same attention that we get, but in a negative outlet. So to understand the positivity, you got protests that are becoming peaceful. You have people that are posting, going on live, having personal connections with the death of George Floyd. People have mentioned that he was a great father. He was a great person as a whole, wanting to rebuild himself. So he had more of a positive outlook than anybody could ever have right now. The negative outlook is only if people make it a negative outlook.
I feel like it had a positive and negative impact. Negative because we lost another person due to police brutality, and positive because we are using our voices to speak out on this death, and we're showing how we are going to fix police brutality, speaking out.
Do you think this is going to stop police brutality, or do you think it's just going to slow it down?
I think it would slow it down more. Of course, not everyone's going to stop automatically. It would help it, though, because I feel like this justice thing with Mr. Floyd, I feel like it would slow it down and open to other police officers that are doing this, saying, hey, maybe we should stop. Maybe they do have feelings, too, and we're just overlooking it, and we should stop this. So it would slow it down. Maybe not stop it completely, but slow it down.
I could say that it can go both ways. It can stop it, but there is a process that it probably could not. From just seeing how the protests are going along, you do have cops now understanding why we say the way we say things, why we're going up to them saying what we need to say or show what we want to express. They're having an understanding. But the opposite side of that is a lot of people, it comes from where your heart is with people. And it comes from where you take things just by looking at a man or a woman face to face, getting that experience with that person. So it shouldn't be any discrimination based on how a person looks, sounds, or even looks from their appearance of their past.
Although his death was tragic, do you think it was necessary to be a police brutality eye-opener?
That can go both ways. I say it can go both ways because for that single event to just happen and it was sped off and after a few minutes he died under just 4 cops laying on the street. Personally, I feel that going with how he left this world is just a discrimination. But just seeing the outlook and the positivity that you have giving from people that are not even a part of his family. They have pictures, they're making things, they're posting things. And it's not just about this one man, it's about just the whole understanding of why it's happening, when it's happening, how it's happening, to what age group it's happening, to what gender it's happening. So it doesn't matter, as long as everybody gets an understanding.
Okay, well, what if you were George Floyd yourself? Like, how would you think that would make your family feel?
It would make my family feel very distraught, confused, and angry because, and I'm going to say angry with a lot of anger towards it, because with understanding the story of how this man for 8 minutes, 45 to 46 seconds laid on his chest, telling them that he couldn't breathe. If I was in that position, you wouldn't really have any words if you were in that position, because all you're feeling is, well, dang, like I didn't do anything wrong. So for the other people that are seeing it to happen, they're going to feel more distraught than myself because I'm the one going through it, but they're the one seeing it physically and they're recording it to show the world that it's not just one black man. It's multiple that it happens to, and it's not just men, it's women as well.
I'm gonna tell you right now, if I saw my father or anybody, I'll be furious. I'm gonna be trying to go back to that one man that tried to kill him. I'm just saying, it's just, you never really, you can say all day long that I'm this and that, but you never really know until you're in their shoes. And if I was in the family's shoes, I would try to go get back at the person, because it's just, it's overbearing. It's painful.
So I have a question for Chair 3. How do you think Gianna feels about constantly seeing her father on every social media platform?
I don't think she should see it, but I don't think she has social media, or her parents, her mother should be showing her that. So if she ever saw that, she would be heartbroken. It would be horrible, but it would be positive because she's seeing other people are in her shoes or helping her feel the same way that she's feeling.
To go based off of what Kimmari said, for her to only be 6 years old and to understand she is very young to even experience the father of her death at this young of an age, if she were to see the video and her, even just either the video or even a newscast that her mom's just rewatching, she will probably not understand what's really going on. All she's gonna hear is her father saying, "I can't breathe." She's probably most likely go to her mom and be like, "Mom, why can't he breathe? Like, what's going on?" Her mother is going to have to face the fact that she's gonna have to explain that to her daughter sooner or later, that your father is gone because of these men that had no authority in their soul to see that he could not breathe.
How hard do you think it would be for her mother to feel in those moments where Gianna would need a father?
I would feel her mother, it would be tough, because not only she has to be a father as well. And I'm saying this briefly because as a single mother, you have to play a role as a father, because without a father, there's certain things that a mother can't do to teach her daughter. I'm saying this because mothers, they teach daughters and then fathers teach their son, but some daughters need that push, because fathers, they push you. They're hard on you. So without that, her mother has to be that father, and that's why it's going to be kind of tough.
I feel that since she does have her mother, I agree with you, there is a balance between having a mother and a father figure just together to have you push and grow up. But what I can also say to that is having a mom, coming from experience, just having your own mother by your side 24/7 and having somebody that you can talk to, that's better than nobody. Even though she did lose her father at a young age, she's gonna see that her father has changed so much. Like to the newscast of Minnesota. Her and her mother actually went on news live, said, I think it was her uncle, if I believe that's correct. And he literally said, "I'm gonna be like her father. I'm gonna be like her father figure. I'm gonna be there because my brother's not here." that's better than having nothing. So I just feel like it doesn't matter who your role model or even a figure is to you, at least you have one.
I agree.
Well, as we all know, we're all females. We all want or have that daddy-daughter relationship. Do you think that her mother's going to be able to, I don't know, like, fill that part in her heart?
She could, but I feel like I don't think so, because for me personally, I'm a daddy's girl. Anything I want, my dad's gonna get it, because that's just how I am. It's hard because I don't think she can get that, because what a dad and a daughter have, it's special. But of course she's still gonna have that mother and daughter relationship, but I don't think her mother can replace how a father and daughter's relationship is.
I agree with her. I do feel that with the relationship that was presented to the world, that she was a daddy's girl. She was the light to him that brought change through his life. So for the mother, I would say it's going to be hard, but it's not impossible for her to be that fatherly figure at the same time. She got to know Mr. Floyd way before their child was even born. So to see that her mother is going to be pushing hard as much as she can just for her child to succeed, it's going to be challenging, but it's not impossible for her to do that.
I agree. All things are possible, but just with her mom trying to help be a fatherly figure, it will be hard at times.
Yeah, I agree as well, because if you listen to Gianna, she said that her father played with her. So losing her father is like losing her best friend, because she didn't have the same relationship with her mother than she did with her father.
Yeah.
So if you ever heard your daughter, like Gianna said, Daddy changed the world, how would that make you feel?
I would feel very happy that, like, if I was a mother, not at this second, but if I was a mother, I would feel very just happy to see that even though in the darkest time, at least you got a light that's there to smile about something. She's seeing a change throughout the world in general. So she's seeing that there is something being done. So I think that's just the light out of the dark for her mom.
I agree with what she has to say. Out of all the things, that would just fill my heart. And if I was a mother, because she found, out of the darkness, she found a light that she oversaw that. She said, my father, made a change. And that would bring, to any mother, that would fill a heart, at least, to know that your daughter, even though something did happen to her father, she still can find that my dad changed the world.
I agree. It will be very heartwarming. It will fill my heart. It will be something to smile about through hard times, and try to remember and pick off of it and keep pushing and remember that moment. Daddy changed the world. Daddy changed the world. I gotta keep striving to help me through this, because without that moment, I don't know what I would think of.
I agree. And how do you think she will act as she grows older and to realize that her father died an unnecessary death and it could have been prevented?
That can go both ways, because there's some she could be fearful, I guess. Not fearful, like be scared, you know what I mean? Because if she's seen, at 6 years old, she's seen a police officer, so she might not feel safe with police, you know what I mean? If she saw that man killed her father, so she would not feel safe. But at the same time, she could be, well, my dad changed the world, so I can live up to his legacy and fulfill what he done for the world, and I can spread his joy to the world.
I agree with you on that one. Even just her stating that Daddy changed the world, she's already putting a positive mindset in her head. She's already going through just trying to understand why her mom is even crying, period, to even understand what the situation is. So as her getting older, let's say 10 years from now she'll be 16. So for her to understand then, coming from our ages now, 13, 14, 15, 16, or whatever, she's gonna understand sooner or later what happened. She's gonna have those flashbacks of when my dad was here, but she didn't have any negative parts in her life that her dad was not there at that point in time. She's gonna have a good life to understand, well, not all police officers are bad, but you do have some that are just terrible to people and terrible to the community as a whole.
Well, I would agree with that. She can grow a sense of hatred for cops who've done that for her father. But seeing her now, I don't believe she would grow that sense of hatred. I know that she will see over that and know that it was just a part of what we are now because they don't like us now. And they see us as a threat. So I think that she would become she would love everyone seeing her. But I don't think she would grow a sense of hatred as a young one.
I think that since it's come to attention that he was a good man and she would want to, in a way, fill his shoes. So I don't feel as if she would be aggressive or violent in any way. I feel like she would try to fulfill his legacy.
Yeah, you're right. I was just like, because there's some times where it's like dark times, because of course what she said, she's going to look back those times, oh, it's not like she never had a dad. Because there's some kids that they never had a dad, but she can say that at least I had a dad in my life. But of course, I'm saying there's sometimes she would be like, oh, I wish he was here. Maybe she'll have like a little outburst of tears maybe. And something of her emotions can get to her sometimes.
When Gianna grows older, you know how people are making jokes about George Floyd's death. Mm-hmm. If she were to see that, do you think it would make her upset? Do you think she would just ignore it or have something to say?
I think she would teach them how, this isn't a joke. My father died. You're making fun of my father figure. You're not respecting his death in any way. So she's probably going to teach them a lesson, tell them it's not a joke.
If I was in her position and I were to see anything negative towards even my own father, you would personally feel like, well, why are you doing that for when you never knew him in the first place? So for people that don't understand the seriousness of police brutality, that means it's either you haven't experienced it or you've never seen it. There's a difference between seeing it and feeling it. Mm-hmm. There's a total difference. And seeing it, yeah, it terrifies you, but you're not that person on that ground. Period. So it's a balance between understanding and it's a balance of knowing the seriousness of the situation.
I already seen stuff online of the jokes, and me just not knowing him and me not even being there to see it, it made me angry. So for her to grow up and see people make fun of it, I would be angry because it's just like my father done nothing, laying on the ground, pleading for them to get off of him. It'll be angry for me.
So, as you know, we live in Tampa, Florida, and there's been a lot of protesting and riots that have put lives in danger and have done no good to the community. How do you think we can go on about peacefully protesting without putting lives in danger?
Now, coming from the riots and looting, like you said, that comes from state of mind. So, and I'm going to say this honestly, most of us are doing it, which our teenagers are mostly doing it. And I feel like, yes, you're angry, but there's a whole nother way that you can put your anger out than smashing a car, than actually taking a tank, than actually going into a store, stealing some Jordans that you could have paid for. So it can go either way, but I still feel like with teenagers as a whole, we want to be heard, but that's not a way to be heard.
Honestly, they wrecking up different stores, and some of those stores are my favorite stores, and they wrecking them up. And some of them, I feel like some are using it, I'm not saying this, are using it as an excuse sometimes, because there's some people that only are doing this to be a part of the riot just to steal. But I feel like they can go in a different route of peacefully protesting. If Martin Luther King can protest without any riots, without any breaking things, and still can get to his success that he did, we can do it too, without breaking things, without doing things. We can peacefully protest down the street, holding up signs, and doing it in the correct way and manner.
Like Martin Luther King said, violence is never the answer. So looting for no reason, well, it's not for no reason. Like, you're showing your anger, but that's not going to bring George Floyd back, Mr. Floyd back. That's just going to show that you're showing a bad example and making them feel more unsafe about our color, but you're supposed to show the positive protesting. Martin Luther King said that he wanted his 4 little children to grow up in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. So we have to show everyone what it's like to be black, I'm proud, and show what you're about, and peaceful protesting instead of looting and showing bad negativity and stuff.
To go along with what she said, just showing negativity by looting and riots, that's just giving them another title to call the black community. We already get called ghetto, hood rat, a whole lot of names that I'm not gonna say, but a whole lot of names that are just a disgrace to even say about a black man or even a black woman, period. So to get that understanding, like my idol Tupac says, don't judge me if you don't know me. Don't judge me if you don't know the rights I have. Don't judge me based on my solitude that I stand for. So you can't judge nobody based on their face, structure, anything, unless you know that person.
Yeah. Going off what they said, it's like if they call you a fighter and you say you don't fight and you protest and then you start fighting people, you're basically showing them that that's what you are. And for us to break things, they're already scared of us because of our skin. Now we're making them more scared and more fearing us when we do this.
Like you said, is the rioting and the looting is perpetuating a stereotype. We're giving them what they want. We're not proving them wrong. But the people who are peacefully protesting are actually actively making a change. There's better ways we can go along by doing it.
When we peaceful protest, there's not just white cops, there's black cops, and they feel how we are feeling. Like one video on Instagram, one black cop was murmuring the words, "I'm black and I'm proud." You don't have to be a bad cop, or not all cops are bad, but when you peaceful protest and the cops are tear gassing and macing and rubber guns and stuff like that, that's showing that they aren't showing a good example of us being a peaceful protesting.
That's a very valid point. I think that the protesting could go a different way, but I get it that we've been quiet for years, so I don't think it would go a different way knowing that we've already done it. So, anyways, thank you for your opinions, and thank you for watching.
Please like, comment, and subscribe.
1, 2, 3.
Squad, practice like a champion, play like a champion.